Our chief investigative reporter, Tony Kovaleski, is with us now. Tony, there's been issues for years about this principal.
Well, Raj, yes, we're looking at the actions of not only the principal, but also the superintendent. Why it was only after our request for public records that the district decided to take corrective action.
Exactly.
It's very disturbing, and it's very upsetting, and it's not right.
We're really set up like a fine jewelry company.
This is a story about Stella and Dot Jewelry, months of questionable expense reports, a teacher survey, and they all lead to a middle school principal.
Somebody has to listen. Someone needs to look at this. Our job is to protect the public's money to educate these children.
She still works in the district and wants to keep her job. That's why she asked us to disguise her identity. She also wants accountability for what's inside these expense reports.
Now that it's being looked at, they're trying to close the barn door after the horses ran away.
It all started back in October. Calls to the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit from a source inside the district telling us to request the expense reports of middle school principal Christina Klekak.
That scared them. That was oh dear, someone's finding out about this.
And the credit card statements and expense reports may explain the district's concern. Here's part of the issue. Our investigation found 17 charges back in 2012 to a company called Stella and Dot. You've seen these expense reports.
Yes.
Which charges concerned the business office?
There were so many charges for this website, Stella and Dot.
According to its website, Stella and Dot is, among other things, a social selling company that creates flexible entrepreneurial opportunities. And here's the connection. Principal Klekak also works as an independent stylist for Stella and Dot. During 2 months back in 2012, her expense reports to the district included more than $2,600 in charges to Stella and Dot, her side business. Initially, was this issue swept under the carpet?
Most certainly.
Sources tell NBC Bay Area the frustration centers on Principal Klekak's attempt to have district dollars help fund her side business. Records show district staff flagged the charges as not allowable. They questioned violations of district policy. The district forced the principal to reimburse the charges, but the district did not remove the principal's credit card privileges until more than 2 years later. Why did that happen? When did it happen?
It's happened within the last 4 months. Truly believe it's because of your investigation.
Sources inside the district say they've questioned Principal Klekak's expenses for years, going back to when she was principal at an Oak Grove elementary school.
6 years of this type of stuff being brought to the administration and nothing being done.
And that's not the only concern district sources raise about the current principal of San Jose's Bernal Middle School.
They call her the ghost principal.
Lynn Martinez worked as a teacher in the district for 18 years. She now serves as the president of the Oak Grove Teachers Union.
She's not seen on campus. She's not seen at meetings. She's not seen in the classrooms.
And Principal Klekak's performance came into question after this evaluation, a survey last year of teachers by the union.
This is probably one of the worst evaluations I've ever seen.
According to this survey, there were 309 unsatisfactory responses.
Correct.
That's
That's huge. That's
Josie who?
that was
Josie Johnson.
that's an alarming number.
Josie Carrillo Johnson was the teachers union president when that survey was done last year. Nearly 2/3 of teachers answered 60 questions to assess Principal Klekak's performance. Comments included, "She is the absolute antithesis of a leader," and "My principal is unethical and picks on or bullies teachers."
Our teachers were held accountable. There was absolutely no accountability for her behavior.
Tony Kovaleski with NBC Bay Area. Do you have a quick second for us? We asked Oak Grove Superintendent Jose Manzo for a response prior to a recent board meeting.
Under advice of council, we're not going to talk about personnel matters.
Before that interview, the district did respond with this written statement saying in part that the credit cards in isolated situations were not being used consistent with district policy, and it took appropriate action. We also asked to speak to Principal Klekak. In an email, she referred us to the district statement and said, "I do not have any comment."
I have absolutely no idea why they would allow this type of leadership to remain in place.
But at some point, you would have fired a teacher or a school secretary or a maintenance person for not even half of this, and you would have done it right away.
It hasn't been until your investigation started that things have been changing and regulations have been enforced, and it was the pressure of the investigation.
Now, the Teachers Union just completed another survey on Principal Klikak's performance. This time, fewer than half of the teachers completed the survey. The numbers do show a slight improvement, but the numbers also show that teachers raised similar concerns about their principal. Raj, yes?
Tough to hear all this. Thank you, Tony.
Now, if you have a tip for investigative unit or Tony, give it a call, 888-996-TIPS, or you can send